Hi guys, so I don't have much time for this video, but I do want to ask you guys a question, and I want you guys to be honest about it. We've lost a black man, 34 years old, in Brooklyn, New York, Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York, yesterday, who police are saying they responded to several calls of this man out in the streets of Crown Heights, Brooklyn, with a metal object in his hand, which they claim appeared to look like a gun. So they responded to these calls and, without hesitation, jumped out of their police cars, pointed their guns at him, and opened fire and took his life. No hesitation, no commands to say stop, drop the weapon, any of that. They jumped out of their cars, ready to kill. And I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? Was this police shooting justified? Should the police have killed Saheed? Did he deserve to be killed? Now, his family is saying that he was mentally ill. He had bipolar disorder, for you guys who aren't aware. It's a severe mental illness characterized by episodes of depression and mania. Was he having an episode? And within bipolar, with any mental illness, there stands a chance that a person can be experiencing some psychosis. So although the predominant features of bipolar disorder are mania and depression, a person who is bipolar can also have some psychotic features, which means that they can be hearing voices, and they also can be violent. It can be suicidal or homicidal. Was he suicidal? A lot of people are saying he was, because he put himself in harm's way. I'm basically saying that he sequestered the police to do this. He gave them no other choice but to jump out of their vehicles and open fire on him without hesitation. And I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Was this killing of Saheed, a 34-year-old African-American male in Brooklyn, was it justified? I'm going to tell you guys, I don't think so. But just because that's my perspective, I still want to hear what you guys have to say. I don't think it was justified because I see that the police are very quick to respond. They're quick to kill. They're quick to pull the trigger when the suspect, quote unquote, is black. However, when the suspect is white, they engage in more social conversational interaction. How they should. They respond in a way in which they should respond. So they go and they talk to the victim. Even if it's giving commands, they at least give I say victim, but they at least give the suspect an opportunity to obey commands. Saheed did not get that opportunity. According to standard procedure, they are supposed to give commands to tell him to get on the ground. No, this man, first of all, it wasn't a gun. It was a metal pipe. They did not tell him to drop the weapon. They did not tell him to put his hands up or to get on the ground. They just pulled their triggers and shot him. And yes, the people who live in Brooklyn, the community, is outraged by this incident because they feel it's unfair. And we know as African Americans that had this quote unquote suspect had been of a different race, the police would not have been so quick to pull the trigger and kill this man. But because black people are an oppressed group, because we don't have a nation standing behind us to defend us in situations such as these. Yes, we go out and protest, but do we really have a nation who will come to arms, who will bear arms to fight aggressively against police brutality, as do other nations? Had this been an Asian man holding a weapon and waving it around, would they have jumped out of their cars and killed this man? No, they would have communicated. They would have given verbal commands. He did not get that opportunity. He did not get that opportunity. Not only that, they assumed what he had was a weapon. Now they're saying that police, according to reports, they claim that there were calls made, 3 calls. Now, no, we didn't hear the calls. I don't know if they released the 911 calls of people saying this man has a gun, but I don't believe it until I hear those 911 calls. And even still, that doesn't make any sense. Their rationale for killing him. Let's go with the story that the police told the media, to say that there were 3 911 calls made to the police saying that he had what appeared to be a gun. No one said he had a gun. You get what I'm saying? So think about it. If you are a police officer responding to a call where people are saying it appears, there is a difference between somebody appearing versus having a gun. There is a difference. If a suspect has a gun, people are not going to say, oh, it appears as though he has a gun. People are going to say, this man is carrying a gun. Whether it's loaded or not, people are going to say, this man has a gun. But no, they responded to calls based on assumption. They responded based on assumption. Now, you guys know I work in the field of mental health. I've worked in psychiatric hospitals where people are violent. That is no way you treat a person with mental illness. That is no way you treat anybody. They didn't even have the facts. They just reacted to this call, to this situation. They didn't even think twice. Now, you guys, there's a difference between police forcing and military enforcement. We know the military, they don't take any chances. You get what I'm saying? It's about war, and it's about casualties, and they cannot afford to have casualties. So yes, they are more trigger happy when it comes to fighting in a war if you are a military soldier. But we're talking about police who are tasked with the responsibility of serving and protecting the community. How can we let these police officers off knowing they did not serve and protect the community? If they are assuming that they did serve and protect the community by killing a person who is mentally ill, a person who did not have a gun, a person who was well known and loved by the community, how can they go to say that they did their job successfully? They did not do their job. Once again, they made a mistake. This is a mistake. Okay? So what the NYPD police department needs to recognize is that you fucked up again. This is another mistake, and you cannot say it was justified based on some 911 calls. If that was the case, people can make random calls all the time of black people walking down the street holding a cell phone, and white people can say, oh, it appeared as though they got a gun. So you mean to tell me just because a black person is walking down the street with their cell phone and hear the police come up and then the person is holding their cell phone out to say whatever they're trying to say, as in the state of Stephon Clark, saying, hey, this is not a gun. This is not a weapon. This is my cell phone. How is it that people are interpreting objects that black people have in their hands as weapons? It's not that, oh, we're taking safety precautions. Just no, you guys, they're living in fear. They already see the black person as the enemy. If you see a person as the enemy, of course you're going to think they're a threat to the community. Look at all the comments on these videos that I've shared on my page. A lot of white people are saying, oh, it was justified. He had an object that he could have killed someone with. And I'm like, yeah, of course you guys see it through that lens because you already see black people as a threat anyway. Had that suspect, quote unquote suspect, been white, will these people in these comment section on these videos be so quick to say, oh yeah, it was justified? No, you will come to your own people's defense to say, wait a minute. It's not justified and it was wrong that this happened. So why is it that when in the situation, the tables are turned and it's a black man who this happened to, everybody wants to attack this man to say that it was justified. He shouldn't have been out there. Granted, yes, he should not have been out there. And they say that he had this metal object and he was pointing it at people as if it was a gun. He was doing this. I'm like, I live in Hollywood, California. How many times have I walked down Hollywood Boulevard and you got white men with objects in their hand, waving it around as a potential threat? I've seen white people, demented people. It's a lot of homeless people that live on Hollywood Boulevard, have objects. And even it's a lot of police too, as I said, that are on Hollywood Boulevard. Like it's a lot of police. But these white police officers aren't jumping out their cars quick to point their guns and kill white people. I see that they're more likely to do that when it's an African American person who is deranged or who appears to be a threat to the community. But when you have white people jumping on cars and banging out windows, they don't just point their gun and shoot them. No, they take precautions to save this person's life. You get what I'm saying? They use the least amount of force when it comes to their own. Look at Dylan Rule. This man went in and killed 9 innocent black people in a church. When the police responded and got ready to apprehend him, he should have been shot on point. But no. What did they do? Take this man to Burger King. He still is alive. Dylan Rufus still is alive for doing what he did. The police didn't respond and say, okay, this man who had already killed people, it wasn't no assumption made that, oh, he had a gun. No, it was clear that he had a gun because he had killed people. So meaning when the police responded, if y'all going to use that same logic to say in Brooklyn, when the police responded, this man had some metal pipe, ain't even nowhere near a weapon, ain't nowhere near a gun. And to say that he is a threat to somebody, he hadn't even hit nobody with the gun, with the pipe. He was just probably in one of his episodes, one of his psychotic episodes, imagining that he was on a battlefield, playing around. No, nobody should not play as if they're going to shoot and hurt someone. But it was pretty clear. I mean, you can tell when a mentally ill person, what their behavior is just a reflection of them just in their own mental illness versus a person who really has an intent to go out and kill someone. You guys, there's a difference. And then even if people, black people, they got pictures of this man pointing, I have to go, you guys, but pointing this object as if it's a gun at people, and people are like, you know, what is this guy doing? They didn't know, I guess, what the object was, because all they can see is the brown metal piece of the gun extended, of the metal object extended out that appeared to look like a gun. That's why they use the word appear. And if the operator said, is it a gun? And the person said, I don't know, it appears, the police should have been more reluctant to go out and kill this man. I gotta go, you guys, because my break is over. I'm actually on break in my one of my classes, but I gotta go. Feel free to comment below and share your perspective on this. People are trying to brush over this issue as if it's nothing. It's insignificant. Oh, this is not an innocent life. Just like they did with Stephon Clark. Any reason they will come up with to excuse an innocent killing of a black person. they will find any excuse to do so. Black people got to stand up and realize, man, come on, y'all. Don't be misled. Don't let them put this propaganda into your head to teach you that black lives don't matter. They'll say they're essentially saying black lives don't matter because X, Y, and Z. With Stephon Clark's case, they're saying his life didn't matter because he, quote unquote, hated black people. No, he had self-hate towards his own race. That's the reason why he was dated outside of his race. In this case, they're trying to make his life not matter by saying that, oh, he was bipolar. He had an object which appeared to look like a gun. But we know that white police officers are not quick to kill their own. They will follow due process. They will follow how they should respond to a case such as this to make a determination. They react more slowly to a situation when it's a white person as opposed to when it's a black person. It's not to say that, no, we didn't need police intervention. It's to say how they responded and looking at the time it took for them to kill this man and seeing that they did not give him any verbal commands. They did not say, hey, drop your weapon. He didn't even get a chance. You get what I'm saying? To obey the law. And had they done that, had they followed the process in which they should have followed, yes, he would have been taken to a mental health hospital where he would have been able to get the treatment that he needed. You know, it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have ended this way. We got to come together and do something about this, guys. Share this video. I know that Facebook is not going to put this video in you guys' timeline because Facebook is the enemy themselves. They don't care about black life. When it comes to us protesting and speaking out against these police injustices against our black community, Facebook doesn't care. I want you guys who have a heart to share this video and to leave your comments below. And I gotta go. Catch you guys later. Bye.